T10, surface area and volume, changes in scale. Alright, pay attention. It's not going to be as bad as what you think it might be. Look at this rectangular prism. If all three dimensions are doubled, then which of the following statements about its surface area will be true? Okay? Now, how do we find the surface area of a rectangular prism? The formula, trying to find someplace to write, is 2 times length times width plus 2 times length times height. That's an L. Let's do an L here. Looks like 21. 2 width times height. Okay, that would be the surface area. You could also do, if you take out the 2, you do length times width plus length times height plus width times height times 2. That's another formula for it. Okay, now, if we double everything, so I would keep the 2 out here, and whatever the L is, whatever the length is, I don't care that if it's 697 or 255, we're going to say that we're doubling that and doubling the width plus doubling the length, doubling the height plus doubling the width, doubling the height. Okay, that ends up being the black 2. This is 4LW plus 4LH plus 4WH. And if I take, so what happens is, it's 4 times as big, because this ends up being 4 times more than that. So I'm reading the answers now. The ratio of the new surface area to the old surface area will be 4 times bigger, 4 to 1, and that is the correct answer. It increased. It did not decrease. Okay. When the height is doubled, which of the following statements is true about the volume? So volume is length times width times height, and if we're only doubling the height, that'd be length times width times 2h, which would be 2LH, and this is twice as big as this, so it would be 2 to 1 from the new to the old. So the ratio of the new volume to the old volume is 2 to 1. We're talking about volume again. So write down the original formula. If the sides are tripled, what happens to the volume? Well, if we have L and we triple L, then that would be 3L. And we triple width, and we triple height, and 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. Compare this to this, and it's 27 times bigger. Surface area. So 2LW plus LH H plus WH. If the side lengths are tripled, so we triple L, we triple W, we triple L, we triple H, we triple W, we triple H, that'd be 9LW plus 9LH plus 9WH, and this is 9 times bigger than that. The new surface is 9 times the older surface area. Which is, the radius is doubled. Volume. Okay, so what's the formula for volume of a cylinder? Area of the base times height, and the base is pi r squared times height. And what happens to the new volume if we double the radius? And 2r times 2r is 4r squared. And then if I just rearrange it and put the 4 first, this is the old, this is now the new. So the new is 4 times bigger. So the new is 4 to 1. The radius is doubled. Just find the surface area. Surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r squared. So that's old. And now we're going to double the radius. Just a second, I need to check something. 4 pi, and then we're going to double the radius. Again, 2 pi times 2 pi is 4. 2r times 2r is 4r squared. 4 times 4 is 16 pi r squared. This is the old, this is the new. It's 4 times bigger. Surface area, 4 pi r squared, and we are going to take half of the radius. This is old. And now this is going to be the new. R over 2 times R over 2 is R squared over 4. If you have a 4 on bottom and then a 4 in the front, those cancel out and leaves you with pi r squared. So this is the new. What happens? If it's halved, it's going to get smaller, right? And if it was 4, and now it's 1 because there's not a number there, the new surface area is 1 to 4. Now be careful, and if there would have been a 4 to 1, don't choose that because we went from bigger to smaller, so it's 1 to 4. Volume of a cone, 1/3 pi r squared times h is old. I shouldn't have written that there. The new, 1/3 pi, what are we going to do? We're going to half the radius and half the height. So r over 2 squared, and then h over 2. I need to write up here because I'm running out of room. 1/3 r squared over 4 times h over, that's a 2 there. And that would be 1/3 pi h squared, r squared h over 8. So if I'm dividing by 8, it's getting smaller by a ratio of 1 to 8. Because the 1/3 is the same in both of them. But here's that, and if we're dividing by 8, then we're getting smaller. Volume of a cone, 1/3 pi r squared h. That's the old. 1/3 pi, the radius is halved, and the height is tripled. And one more. So that would be 3r squared h over 4. If I'm just comparing this part, because the 1/3 is already there anyway. So it's 3/4 as big as the old one. A rectangular prism, length is tripled and the width is quadrupled. Then which of the following is about the volume? A volume of a rectangular prism is length times width times height. What are we going to do? The length is tripled and the width is quadrupled. What does that mean? It means it's been multiplied by 4. So we get 12 LWH. Here's the old, here's the new. The new is 12 times bigger. Last one. A cylinder's height is tripled and the volume. So volume is pi r squared h. And what are we going to do? We're going to triple the height, that's all. Which makes it 3 pi r squared h. Old, new, so the new is 3 times bigger.